Hey folks, Sheila here from Design Files. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create tray ceilings using the Design Files 3D floor planner. In this video, I'll show you how you can create multiple trays, and I'm also going to show you how you can customize the trays so that the edge matches your wall color and the bottom matches your ceiling color. So let's go ahead, we're going to jump right into this design right here, and I'll show you how to do it step by step. Okay, so now that that's loaded in, I'm just going to jump into the 3D perspective mode. And we'll load in this design, and I'm just going to rotate it around, and if I want to create a tray ceiling for this space, I'm going to click directly on the ceiling. You're going to see an edit icon. Click that, it'll take you into the ceiling editor. Now in the ceiling editor, this is showing you the surface of your ceiling, and the blue line that's going all the way around here, that's indicating where your ceiling is meeting the wall, okay? So if you've got any openings like that, that's just indicating that there might be a wall opening where you're gonna see a little bit more of the ceiling as you're kind of going through into the next space. But you're basically gonna be working within the blue lines here. Now, if I want to create just a simple tray ceiling, one of the easiest things to do is just to click the rectangular tool, click to make a point, move out your mouse, click to close off that rectangular shape, and you'll see that you've got one big rectangular shape sitting in the middle of your ceiling space. And I'm not going to worry about getting my measurements exact when I'm drawing out the rectangular shape because I can edit those after the fact. To make sure that my tray is even all the way around, so if I want this to be 12 inches in on all sides, the easiest thing I could do is just click the dimension here, the distance measurement, and I'm just going to put in 12 and then hit enter on my keyboard. And you'll see that it's going to bump it in 1 foot. Now, I would do this for all of the distance measurements here, so just hit 12 and then hit enter. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I'll do it for this last one, but I do want to show you one thing. It's always going to default to inches. So if you just put in 24, it'll assume you mean 24 inches. And when you hit enter, it's going to make it 2 feet. So if you wanted to put in a specific measurement like 1 foot 6 inches, then what you can actually do here is when you click into the distance measurement, you could put 1 and then do a single quote, 6 and do a double quote, and then hit enter. And that will give you the 1 foot 6 inches. So you can always use the single and double quotes if you need to put in something, like if you want to show a 1 foot something, or if you just put in the actual number, like 12, it's going to assume it's inches and it will default. Okay, so now that you know that, you can edit all of your distance measurements, and the next thing that you can do is you can start applying colors to your ceiling and to the tray that you've created here. So we're going to go to the texture library. I'm going to go into paint. You'll see the paint color library here. You also have different textures that you could apply. So if you wanted the ceiling to be a wood texture or wood paneling, and then you want the tray to be paint, then you can absolutely do that. In my case, I just want it to be paint for both. And I've already added some colors to my design here, so I want to use the same colors. So I'm going to pop into Recents, which is going to show me the colors I've already used within this design so that I can use these instead of having to look through the libraries again. And I'm going to make both the ceiling and the tray the same color. Now, let's zoom in here on this 3D preview, and if you're wondering how I'm doing that, I'm just using the wheel on my mouse. If I want this tray to extend down into the space, I'm going to click on this tray shape here, and then I'm going to come over to the right side panel and I'm going to extrude it down 5 inches. And then you'll see that it's going to pop down like that. And if you want, you can create as many trays as you like. So if I wanted to create 2, then I would just create another rectangular shape. I'm going to place it in here. I'm going to fill it with the same color, and because I'm doing 2 trays, I'm just going to make my outermost tray maybe a little bit larger, so we'll do 10 inches. My inner tray could be something like 5 inches, and then my ceiling would not extrude at all. It's going to be flush to the top. And if I pull this out, you're going to see exactly what that looks like. Now, key thing to note here, when you are creating multiple trays, remember how we use the distance measurement here to push my tray in 12 inches? It works really, really well. If you're editing the distance measurements, it works really, really well if you are changing the distance between the edge of a shape and the wall, because the wall is a fixed point. So it's always going to push in 12 inches or however many inches you want. If you are editing the distance between two shapes, then if I edit this, it's actually going to split the distance between the two. So if I put in 24, you're going to notice that it's going to push this line out and it's going to push this line in. So if you don't want to mess up the distance that you've already created for this initial line, but you want this tray to come in towards the other one, maybe like 5 inches. So what you would do here is you would actually just grab the edge of the inner shape and drag it in. And let's say we're going to do 5 inches, just like that. So you've got your initial foot and then your 5 inches. And I would do that for all of these edges. So we're just going to drag it until we have it at, 1 second here, 5 inches. And then again over here, drag it in to 5, oh, 1 second, drag it to 5 inches. And then I'm just holding down my right button on my mouse to shift my screen up, drag it around so that I can get down to this bottom one. And then I'm just going to bump it down to 5 inches as well. And then that will give me a nice even tray all the way around, just like that. Now, let's say that you want the edge of your tray to match the paint color that you have on the wall, and you want the bottom of your tray to match the ceiling color. So here's how we're going to do that. I'll just delete the inner tray here, and we'll just do it for a single one because it's going to be the exact same steps if you're doing it for multiple. And I'll bring my original tray back to 5 inches and our original ceiling back to 0. Okay. So we've got our basic tray ceiling here, and I want to paint the edge of this one blue. So here's how we're going to do that. I am going to create another tray. So I'll just zoom it out here so we can see the full edges. I'm going to create another rectangular shape. And then I'm going to paint this one, the strong white. This is my new ceiling. So the shape in between my tray and in between my ceiling, this is the one that I'm going to paint my wall color. So I'm going to go into my paint color library. I'll go into recents because I already have the colors that I've used. I'll take this blue color and I'm going to apply it here. And I'll just open up my 3D preview so you can see what this looks like. So right now it looks like a thick band that's painted flush with the ceiling. We don't want that. I want this to extend down to match the depth of the tray. So I'm going to extend this down 5 inches. And now it looks really thick, which I also don't want, so I'm actually going to thin out that shape. So here's how we're going to do this. You can see the distance measurement here. I'm just going to click on this edge and I'm going to drag it in until I have it at about 1/2 inch. And then I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to move my screen over again. I'm just clicking and holding with the right button on my mouse so I can shift my screen over. And then again, I'm going to drag in all of these edges so that I've got this shape super thin. And by doing that, it's going to look like a thin painted edge along the inside of my tray. So now my edge of my tray matches my wall and the bottom of the tray matches the ceiling. Now, here's something really important to note. If you decide that you don't like the color that you put on the edge of your tray and you want to use a different color, let's just pop into any of these collections here. You're going to find that if you try to click on a color and click into this shape, you can't do it because it's so thin. So all you need to do is just click on one of the edges, drag it out, fill it with a different color, and then just close it back up to your 1/2 inch. Just like that. Let's see here. Did I get 1/2 inch? Okay, there we are. Cool. And then it will fill that new color into your design, just like that. Okay. So that's the basics for creating tray ceilings within the DesignFiles 3D floor planner. If you want, you can create as many trays as you like. If you like the idea of being able to change the edge of the tray so it matches the wall, you can follow the steps that I've shown you within this video. And of course, if you have any questions at all about how to create tray ceilings or even how to create other types of ceilings within the DesignFiles 3D floor planner, be sure to reach out to us on the live chat. We're always happy to help. Thanks for watching.